Good evening, everyone. Go ahead and get started. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I need a motion for last meeting's minutes. I will second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the claims. I will second. All in favor? Aye. Report of collections. Acknowledge the report. I will second it. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Reconciliation. Make a motion to acknowledge the treasury bank reconciliation. I will second it. All in favor? Aye. We are putting in order establishing new precincts. On record, do we need a vote on this, Ethan? Or do we put it on record? Yeah, good. Perfect. Done. All right, department heads. Jason, you got anything? Yeah.
Good. Give you guys an update on the community crossing project down the end. Milestone has finished the wedge and leveling, and they're going to be gone for 2 to 4 weeks down there. So we'll start back up then. Everything's going good with that. It's looking really nice. I did have something I wanted to ask about, and we've been kind of getting it around, and we were wondering about doing 4 10-hour days, Monday through Thursday. Didn't know what anybody thought about that, just while we're paving and chip sealing. And we're just kicking it around, so you guys tell us some other counties are doing that, so we're just thinking.
We can discuss it. Yeah.
We have a couple here from USI to go use the bridge contract, the new bridge inspection contract. Paul Coop was going to be here.
He said he's caught some traffic, so I'll give him that.
Okay. We've also been discussing, I don't know how council and the commission will feel about taking on another federal aid bridge project here. We'd like to maybe keep one every other year just to get something done with our bridges, including our locally funded bridges. So we have a bridge in mind. It's on Schoolhouse Road. It's bridge number 39. And we maybe like to do that before it turns into a historic, non-select or select bridge. Those are kind of a pain to deal with, like what we're dealing with now. So take that into consideration. If you will. There's a call on fall this year. So didn't know everyone felt about the money being tied up for 5 years or however long it takes to get that done. So,
we'll talk about it.
okay.
Thank you.
Not a whole lot. Still no news on the check this week on the greenhouse sewer at still August. More will be working how to give you guys some numbers on new ambulance, so you can have that number go into the budget time and timeline, you know, how long it'll take. I'll try that, hopefully in this month for you, guys can have that. Have a few little things we got to clean up on to the 2 new ambulances, some cosmetic things that we found come about. They are under warranty, so they're going to take care of those for us. We just got to figure out where we're going to take it or if they're going to come to us and do those things. Still fully staffed, so Jeff and I are watching the overtime as best we can, trying to make sure to keep it in check. A lot of people are taking time off, but typical for the summertime, people take time off. Other than that, things doing okay. We're still having some issues with the one ambulance in 2022. I was telling you we're having some issue with the depth system. There was a sensor that had to be replaced, got replaced. We're still having some issues with it, but it's going back out to Ford next week. Figure out what's going on with it. Or not, that's all I've got.
Okay. Thank you, Gordon. You got anything? Kim, you got anything?
I do.
All right.
Rest of my departments. Well, first, I spoke with Steve Kennedy, he's the head of the grants for Indy IDMR, regarding the current status of the WECA building and the grants that they have. He inquired about Anita, who was commissioned to administer the grant, and I confirmed that she is still commissioned and she's still on and in charge of all those grants. And he will follow up with a meeting after he talks to Malia Vanneman and give me a list. He's going to give me a list of every detail of everything that's on there, just so I can follow along as well. Clarified that the grant is both the Wabash River Heritage Corridor Fund and the Paul Bruin grants, and everything is good as far as we are standing with DNR, so we're all good there. I do have a meeting scheduled next week in Attica to meet with Anita and go over the grant project and everything. I'm going to stop in and meet with Larry as well. I was notified that there were unused funds from Ready 1.0 and they've been reallocated. And they chose to put those into the Shiloh project for Covington. So those funds have been moved and everybody voted on that. And then I just completed the CDBG 101 course this last week, and then I'll take the test, and then by August there's another 201 course, and then August there's a 201 course, September is 301, and then they open up the 401 exam, and once I get the certification and pass all that, I'll be certified to do the CDBG over grants. That's all that I have. Any questions?
Happening.
Yes.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Ken, for your time and dedication to that. It's a lot of them.
All right. Moving on to the covered bridge certification.
Hey, can I ask Jason a question?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, I need to ask you a question. When you got to talking about this new Fed grant that you wanted for bridges, especially on the Schoolhouse Road.
Yeah.
Is it like we have when we get the grants for the bridges or 800? Is that the same type of grant? Community Crosses grant?
No.
What are you talking about grant then? That's what I.
Federal grants, 80-20 split. The last two we've done have been right around $2 million. We pay right around 550 to 600.
All right, 80-20, okay. So do you have to write that?
Between us and the US.
Okay, gotcha.
We work together and
Okay. All right, I think that's the help.
it just helps keep our bridges.
It isn't that cement bridge there by Rebs, is it?
No, this is on further east, yeah.
Okay, why would it be historical?
It's got pony truss, it's not yet, but before it does go into that, it's got like the pony trusses, the
Okay.
whole iron.
Okay, got you.
Covered bridge certification. Yeah, so sign that, yeah.
So states sort of.
Three, right? Three of them, yes. Yes. Bridge inspection contract, there. guys have anything? I mean,
It's just the.
yeah,
I send that to
yeah.
you like the first of the month, it's just a contract part and ground inspections.
I didn't have any issue with it. Some of the stuff I was doing anything about, I don't know how much it cost to inspect it, right? But I actually thought it was favorable to. But, you know, the contracting municipality, more than I expected it to be.
And Baker Tilly. All right, any public comment? We'll right through this. Commissioner meeting. Got that motion for us, Commissioner meeting.
I'll make a motion to close.
Second, all in favor? Aye. I will call to order the joint meeting with the commissioners.
I will call to order the joint meeting county council.
Did everyone get a chance to look at what Tradecraft's gonna do to finish this room up? Anyone have any questions?
I think that we completed, it's
Would be
completely done then.
completely done, yes.
That includes speaking. I mean, mics and speaker and stuff.
Yeah, Ryan's already got all that.
Yeah, that's all, done. Yeah,
Right.
yep.
That would come out of our council. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't have any questions, over? We're good? We're gonna get this room finished?
Thanks.
Okay, yep. You wanna make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the vote.
I will second it. All in favor? Aye.
Dudley, do you have any questions? May I get a motion to approve Tradecraft Specialty Contractor LLC to do the work in the commissioner room?
I'll make that motion.
Douglas, may I get a second?
Second.
Jeff? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 6-0.
You guys have anything for the council? We good? All right. We'll move on to the BOT contract. Really short conversation as far as entering for the new highway garage. You know, where are you guys thinking money wise? Somewhere between the 4 to 6 million is my range. I realize that's a $2 million range, but I'd like to get that started. I know Jason would like to get this going. We are in June already, so what are you guys thinking?
What all does that include? Is that?
That would be the salt barn, the fuel station, and the main building. The cold storage would not be.
No cold
No
storage,
cold
okay.
storage, correct.
Any thoughts, council?
I'd like to see design, I mean, what we're coming up with before we go to bids and, I would also like to see that we not do bonding, that I think we
We
can,
have a plan. It's.
I
pay
think,
for it, yeah.
yeah, I think we are in good enough shape, especially if we transfer money from special lit to do the budget for the ambulance department. I think we.
Well, the 4 to 6 is just for me to give them an idea of where we're looking. So if you
Okay.
guys are okay with that, I'm going to proceed.
I think it needs to be at the lower end of that to make it affordable.
Yeah.
If we're paying for it.
I think
The lower
the one
end of the
quote was
range.
7 million was for everything, and
Yeah,
they said that
I had
they probably did it.
6.6 and that included the
Yeah.
1.7 for the cold storage. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying it needs to be that 4-ish.
4. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, we can go ahead with 4 and just see what we get. but, I just want your guess, all of us to be on the same page, so.
But yeah, I think we should move ahead and move forward on it.
Oh, sorry. Is that including the money that from the ARPA funds?
Yes.
that we have? When does that have to be spent? I'm just curious.
By the end of next year,
Next year.
isn't that right?
No,
Yes.
this year.
This year.
This year. That's just started.
December 31st, 2026.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought.
Does that have to be started
Yeah.
this year? or something?
2026. Yeah, that's.
Because we have already allocated
Yes,
26.
that's a little over $1 million, right?
It was like 1.2.
Right in there. Yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
Are you?
But that's not in addition to the 4. So we're not saying 4.
We're not saying 5.2, no, we're saying 4
Right,
total.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Want to make it clear.
Yes.
I know.
That's.
Are you intending on using the plans that you have? That you and I looked at
That we
something.
looked at.
Yes.
That I kind of put together.
Yes.
If that, I spoke with Aaron and I don't know if those get to anybody.
They got passed out when Roger passed those out to the previous 3 from
Yeah.
2 years ago.
KPG.
Yeah,
KJB.
mhm.
Yeah, I haven't spoken with anybody to see if that layout will work okay for us, but
I didn't know if maybe that would be a starting point
yeah.
since we already have those.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Those have been passed out to 4 different firms, so,
I thought they had.
Yep. okay.
So on the money you want to spend, a lot of that's going to be soft costs. I mean, it'll be the engineering, the drawings, the architect. I mean, that's going
So you're
to
going to use the ARPA funds up
for that. Okay, got you.
That would be my
All
thought.
right, that's, I agree.
Yeah, but that needs to be spent first, so that we don't.
But there will,
Yes.
there will be that expense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But that's all part of the full
Mhm.
million.
I do have another question. As far as the whole storage, are we going to plan on keeping our current facility now for storage and everything?
Yes, that is our plan.
I just want to make sure.
I think that's what we were thinking too. So
But are we thinking that long term?
I don't think of it as long-term.
I didn't either. I didn't think of it as long term.
I was just wondering about the utilities and things we're not talking
Right.
about, you know, there.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know if anybody else did, but I mean, I.
You know, in the future. my
Ideally,
goal was-
long
yeah,
term would not
ideally.
be, but
In a-
we are
in a perfect-
government,
Money
here.
speaks.
we move
Yeah.
pretty slow, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told Aaron just before, I'm all in favor for this with the state cuts and everything. I really want to make sure we don't raise taxes in order to pay for this. Figure out a way to do it without raising taxes. And I think we can. That's.
Yeah, I think
But
that's how we, yeah,
when
I think
SB,
we looked at it pretty
when
good.
SB loan kicks in, you're gonna raise taxes.
Yeah.
So it's gonna become in a couple of years.
Unless something changes and I had an opportunity to speak to someone at the state level last week and he indicated that he foresees some of it to get repealed. So part of SB 1 getting repealed, so we'll see.
Right.
Discussion?
That's it. So you might have public comment, questions, concerns. Go ahead, Bill.
Just a couple of things. I was curious about, I know you're not a fan of the Mitch Corner building with our health department and the cost of everything and all that. Is it more feasible to do something with the building we already own, put them in there, maybe 911 in there? And I have no clue. I'm just asking that question for thought, you know.
Yeah.
food for thought.
Well, we had estimates come back and it was pushing $6 million to renovate that building. And so it's not something that we haven't looked at. I mean, we've talked about it just recently, trying to figure out what is the best solution. So, and then we went back and we said, well, the last thing we had on, it started out at 700,000 when we bought it. And then the next thing we knew, it was up to 6 million. So,
Well, a lot of that's changed though, hasn't it? I mean, the architectural stuff, as I understand it, they've gone dot the line of everything and elevator and all sorts of stuff that really wouldn't even require
Right.
it. Well, I don't know what a legitimate figure would be, but it would be nice, you know, to
Mhm.
use something we already have. I don't know if you're having any luck selling it, but
Well,
I think.
we got one appraisal, correct?
Yeah, I think the other one will be in the next week or two, and there's actually a surprising amount of interest in it for whatever reason. I mean, some people want to praise it, because they're like, you know, I'm really busy people, we might want to buy that. I need to stay away from it, so.
well, the second thing I would food for thought again. Started these evening meetings. Tim and Brenda both said people won't come once the hotbed issue has died down. You still think you need, because it's all the same people basically that's coming. You really, we're paying overtime for guys down here in the sheriff's department and stuff for this, is that really necessary?
I think so, yes. I think we have to give the public the opportunity to be here.
Well, where are they? I mean, that's my point, where are they?
Well, if we give them the option and the availability to come at 6, they choose not to come. If we have it at 9 o'clock in the morning and everybody's at work, they can't come. They have to take off work to attend. This gives the working public a chance to attend the meeting if they choose to.
And I don't disagree with your thought on that and this and that. I'm just saying the working public has the opportunity and not taking advantage of it, then why pay the overtime? That's my point.
All right, is anybody else?
Carol.
On the health building, at the last meeting, Kim suggested a couple other locations. Have they been looked into?
Well, there was the Donovan building and was there
The
another one?
other, it was the other Heyman building over by the car wash in Petersburg. Am I correct?
Sterling, yeah, Sterling.
Sterling, excuse me.
It's on the north side.
Okay,
I think St. Vincent's had some kind of health care, or something in there.
Mhm.
I know the Donovan building has been looked at,
Yes.
but no, the other one has not.
That might be a square footage issue. I'm not sure.
The dominant, with it being a very nice building, it was just feasibility of
We're gonna have
making
to
it
build out.
work for the health department was gonna be way over cost.
Does anyone have anything else? Council, you have anything?
Tim has
I think it's a good thing that there's not a lot of people here. I mean, you've been doing your job, so. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jason? Sorry, did you ever get a quote to fix those extra issues on the VMP building?
For the encapsulation,
Yes.
the owner has to call. He will not let me schedule an appointment for an estimate.
Thank you.
But I did make him aware of that a couple weeks ago.
Is it my understanding that he already has the permit to connect to Petersburg Utilities?
I don't know about a permit, but I know that he said he's set to go.
Okay.
That's all I know.
I know like a year ago, he went through all of that with, the redevelopment commission and everything, so. I know that they've already addressed it like over a year ago.
Just in case it has to be done.
But if he called me
Mhm.
and so we have, he's not going to do anything until we approve, paying the down payment. So when are we going to do that?
Well, when you guys decide. what you want to do.
I know in our last council meeting, I stated that I had an issue with just sign, we don't sign the contract that I'm aware of, but we do secure the funds for the down payment. And my issue was having some sort of reassurance that those issues would be taken care of before we commit. And I know he needs the funds for the debt from the down payment to do some of those things that need to be addressed, but I don't know if there could be something in the contract that states that these issues would be completed and signed off on prior to moving forward. It just really bothers me
So
because we don't know. It's
you made it
another.
pretty clear you need that down payment money to fix some of that stuff. What I would suggest is if we're heading in this direction, then we say, okay, we'll pay you your down payment of 10%. You've got 3 months or 2 months or whatever to fix these things. Or we'll hire somebody to fix them and that's coming off the contract price. I mean, the nice thing about him holding the paper is there's money out there that we will owe eventually, then we can say, no, this is coming off the back end of that or whatever. My understanding of all of it was we got one inspection, we have a laundry list of issues, and then we got another inspection, and could be a big issue, we don't know, we came out here to the quote on it, which was the water and the crawl space, right? So that, to me, that's the biggest risk that we can't figure out.
That's what bothers me, and that's what's bothered me from day one. I said it needed perimeter draining around that building to get it away from the building.
And spots in the ceiling. Spots in the
Ceiling.
Isn't that a leak?
I think it was a previous leak. I don't know that it leaks currently. Right. Some of that's kind of minor. Some of those things are kind of minor and they're easy fixes, but the major one is that water in the crawl.
That just makes it very.
And it can be fixed.
Absolutely, it's
It-
sometimes difficult to find.
Right. And I believe the gentleman that looked at it last, did he look at that leak?
He noticed, a lot of things on the ceiling and then the, light fixtures. He did look in the attic and he said he did not see anything wet. So I don't, like you said, it might have been just past.
Mm-hmm.
And it recently rained for people prior.
Sometimes too, with the rain, they will be already.
Well, it's rained a lot lately, so.
Normally you inspect it, and we get rain prior to the inspection. Was it recent one? Was it after the rain started?
I mean, I don't remember the exact date, but it had rained a lot,
Okay.
so, but yeah. I don't know that there's new insulation
talked to
put
you,
up
but
there that.
I talked to him about the water coming in, it just sloped wrong. So he was either gonna go in and cut that blacktop out. Get the slope going back towards the pasture and then put a new downspout in. Then he was going to freeze the timbers underneath and dry it out with a couple of humidifiers and move them in there. What his strategy was. So I don't think he would want to actually. Yeah, just my.
Do you know if they moisture tested the wood?
They not. In the crawl space, there is black substance. But he did not, in that report, he did say something about moisture, didn't he?
A powdery.
No,
Oh.
the second report.
Yeah.
He did say there is moisture on the wood. How that I think about it.
Is there a route to run field tile away from those drains?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Water.
Oh, yes. And that's why I said you could have perimeter drain around that and get the field tile in and get it out far enough, you'll drain that water out. And he's gonna cut it doesn't have the right amount of slope on it, so he's gonna cut it out and create that slope.
He said he could fix it. But he was gonna treat the sills underneath. To get the moisture out of them and dehumidifiers underneath, leave them in there. For when they move in, so. That's just the take I had on it.
He said it was a 20 to 30% on the wood scale, and it needs to be around 15 to 18%.
So just a little wet. Any other thoughts, council?
I would just want to make sure that the sound functional for.
That was my concern too.
Okay.
I think we're all in agreement that that's one of our biggest concerns. I think
He's willing to do the work, but he's not going to do the work until he gets it. So we're here twiddling our thumbs until he gets.
I think
Oh, we got a
if you
contract.
decide you're gonna go forward with it, you gotta do like Ethan said, give him a timeline. Let's say it's gonna come off the back end.
right.
Well, why don't we draw up a contract? Present it to him. See if he accepts it essentially.
With and add
I
in the
saw
second
one in
report.
in
You're
my-
gonna fix these things together, we got X amount of days to do it.
Yeah, I want X amount of days in there.
And then if he doesn't, we're gonna hire somebody else to do it ourselves, and that's coming off the back end of it.
Mhm.
Could you front him the money to do it?
That's what the down payment, the down payment,
Yeah,
Is fronting him.
yeah, it's not we're not writing the check, then we'll take it over, it's he's over payer for it, so there's there.
And needs to let Jenny in to check what things she needs to check too.
What, how many days to fix it, 90, 120, 60, 30?
I'm 90.
what do you think, Denise?
I just don't want to get in there and then have problems, and we can't have people coming in and out.
Right,
So it needs to be done with what we do with.
right.
Because that was his last comment to me, would not have it done in time for us to move in. But that I think was on that 30-day frame.
You want everything on both inspections fixed before you move in?
I'm afraid if we don't, it won't get done. That's my concern. And I need that water taken care of, because I do not want to leave the health department in there, sitting on top of that water that has been there for months.
I don't want it this year.
90 would get it through the summer, ought to get it done in July, August, September, in fact.
Yeah. I
I
think
think
so.
90 days.
I think 90 days is feasible. Obviously, if he doesn't have it done, he's gonna come to us and say, listen, I have about 2 more weeks of work here,
That's right.
you know. If he has to go over that, I'm sure he's gonna get notification.
We're paying 2 weeks or not 90 days.
Mhm.
Well, why would we start paying him the lease until?
Right.
We wouldn't start paying
Yeah.
him the lease till the
Yeah.
purchase is complete. We give a down payment, we're not. So are we signing the full contract right away? I don't think we need to start lease payments till after the work's done, after that
Right.
90 days, and we were ready to move forward.
No, that's what we're gonna get, we think about, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't start paying that lease payment till after it's done.
Right.
Move in, yeah.
Yeah,
They move in, they start. You work it out after that, and
Mhm. And before move-in, are you going to want the second inspector to come back in and review? I think it's important. Yeah.
I just want to say, they built our amphitheater downtown Petersburg, and they're wonderful. I call, they show up, they're there, and get stuff done. They've done the whole project, so they have done a great job.
Yeah, I have faith that they'll get it done.
So we'll get a contract together. Vote on that, move it to you guys, and then see what he says.
Sounds good.
Was the plan to make these changes and send it to her?
Yeah,
Pick up contract, yeah.
you guys okay with that?
Okay, anything else?
Does anybody have anything else?
Make a motion to close.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Can I get a motion to close the council portion of the joint meeting, please?
So
Seconded. Jim McKee, all in favor, say aye. Aye. 6-0.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.